Alright, let's talk about energy. So, you may be asking, Laddle, where did all of our gold go? Well, I took the liberty of spending it on parts so you didn't have to see me trudging around through the shop. So, let's go to our generator. Here's your generator. There's 3 different types they've kind of categorized them into. You've got high output, balanced, and high capacity. So high output, high capacity are kind of the opposing types. Go to our current generator, we'll see that's a high output. So you might be asking, what does that mean? So each generator has energy output, energy capacity, critical power, and power jamming resist. The first 2 are the ones that you're always going to be worried about. So energy output determines how quickly you regenerate energy. Energy capacity is the maximum amount of energy that you can have stored. So yeah, higher energy output means that you can have more things going on without draining anything out of your energy bar. Higher energy capacity means you can do more stuff even if you're losing a little bit of energy. Critical power is just for using ultimate weapons. It's just kind of a gimmick. Some of the ultimate weapons you can charge up and fire more than once, such as the Giga Missile. So if you're trying to build something that's fighting some of the major multiplayer bosses or something, you might want to get something with really high critical power, but unless you're using an ultimate weapon, you can just ignore it. Power jamming resist is very important, but only in multiplayer. So what this means is how much your generator is going to resist being jammed. So what can happen is someone can throw down a what is it? It's basically an energy jammer, and it'll decrease your output. And if you have a really low power jamming resist, then you'll just drop straight out of the air, and you have to walk your ass out of the area of effect, which generally means you're dead because you're not dodging anything while you're walking. Then you've got the bottom 2 here, weight and energy consumption. Our generator isn't really going to consume any energy, but it does have weight. So you'll see on every other part we look at, you've got weight and energy consumption right there at the bottom. So let's say we want to use some different boosters. Well, you can see when I'm switching between them, the little energy bar in the bottom right hand corner right under load is going to go up a little bit. So that gray bar is essentially how much of the output of our generator that we're using. The line is the maximum output. So I guess potentially if you pass that, then you won't have any energy and it probably won't let you launch. I've never really seen this happen naturally, just because it means you're skimping on the generator on an extremely heavy AC where you should have room to put a giant generator on it. So anything that you see that has high energy consumption right under weight means that that's just its static draw. That's just how much energy it's using just by virtue of being attached to your AC. If you open up, say, the boosters, you can also see things like boost power, ignition efficiency, let's see, where is it? High boost energy consumption. So this is going to be the amount of energy that's just consumed in a short burst whenever you're using one of your quick boosts. So if you have one that has a really low high boost energy consumption value, then it'll allow you to do a whole lot more quick boosts before you run out of energy. If you have an extremely high output compared to what you're normally just using, you'll be able to regenerate that fairly quickly, even if you're not necessarily in scanning mode with all of your weapons disabled. Most of the time people are just going to be flashing in and out of scan mode in order to disable weapons and regenerate a little bit more energy, because once you're unable to dodge, it's going to be bad. You're going to be taking a lot more damage. So we'll go to one of our energy weapons. So you've got energy weapons, and some of them, most of the weapons have about the same amount of energy consumption. It's sitting around 500 generally. 500, 600, 700 or so. But if we go to our laser rifle, you can see that it also has a stat, energy consumption during use. So this is the amount of energy that it's going to start using when you're, say, charging a laser rifle or firing your pulse machine gun. This is pretty much the reason why you're going to have your energy falling while you're shooting an energy weapon. You can have builds that are very, very energy conscious, and you can shoot like your pulse machine gun or whatever for a very long time, like longer than you'd ever really need to or have any reason to have that long of a sustained burst. But yeah, it's something you want to keep an eye on whenever you're making something, especially if you're going to be carrying more than one energy weapon. Yep, all the parts have energy consumption. The lighter weight ones tend to have a little bit less, so I'm going to throw together a very low energy consumption build. So if you've seen me mention the words, not really the words, mention the acronym IOB, that's called Infinite Overboost. So that kind of comes from some of the older games where you could actually just overboost forever because your energy consumption was so low compared to the output of your generator that you could just glide boost around forever and not have to worry about anything. So let's get a lower energy FCS, and we're going to have to reduce our powers, or our load as well. I think this is the only high output one we have. I think there's like a... We're not giving up too much output for a lot more capacity on this one, but it's also heavier. So the high capacity ones are generally if you want to have something that's firing a lot of energy weapons, or you're kind of doing hit and run attacks on people, because it could allow you to dodge around a whole lot, and as long as you keep an eye on your energy, you could escape, get behind some cover, maybe have someone screen for you, sit behind a building while you regenerate in scan mode. And then once it comes back up, you can charge back in, have a lot of sustained boosting power. We'll just stick with this high output one for now because it's the only one we have. One thing that can help get you a couple more boosts is, say, if you go to one of these low consumption type boosters. So you can see high boost energy consumption goes down by about 6,000. The ignition efficiency goes way up. It's not quite as powerful, but we'll go ahead and give it a shot and see how it works out, because this is going to be a much lighter build. Let's see, what else can we drop? Maybe you don't want something this heavy on here. Could go with the pulse machine gun. Maybe replace both the bays with a melee weapon. So, here's a fun weapon, heat pile drivers. They're basically the chemical energy equivalent of laser swords. They do tons and tons of damage, but they also have limited ammo. They also have almost no static energy consumption, so we'll maybe throw one on. Or two. I think I bought two. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. We have really light arms already. Let's see. No, battle rifle's kind of heavy. We can grab a regular rifle. Well, that's junk. Or maybe go with lighter missiles. If we have any. Guess not. It's time to go back to the store. Let's see. Let's put a Sea-Wiz on here. So Sea-Wiz is just a little shoulder weapon that'll shoot down incoming missiles. It's actually quite handy to have. In some of the other games, the rate of missile interception wasn't too great, and it's not too great on this one either. It's only about 60%. But they're still really handy for countering missile boats, because missile boats can ruin your day. So let's go take this out and see if it'll get us to boost around. I might just roll into the next story mission with this one if it works out.
Main system activating combat mode. System
Yeah, being able to boost forever is really, really handy for doing hit and run attacks. So let's see. Oh, it's not quite infinite, but as you can see, we can high boost for a very, very long time like this. You can just do laps around the map.
Energy at 30%.
We can't quite high boost while we're doing this, but it's pretty good overall.
Combat mode.
In order to get it down to the point where we can actually just high boost forever, we'd probably have to, or excuse me, glide boost forever, we'd probably have to drop one of our weapons or maybe not have any in our bays. Alternatively, have something better than this crappy starting generator that we've got. But yeah, that's a general overview of energy.